All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday morning. I am feeling refreshed and back to normal after my long work weekend and staying up all day Monday. That's always the treacherous day of the week for me, is my first day off because I stay up all day with my kids. So that's why you never see me on the Monday call because I'm barely surviving. But I got some good sleep last night, so I am ready to go. Who watched the call live last night with Kristen? Were you not absolutely blown away by Shelby's eyes? I know she was. Heart, yes, April. Like,
Powerhouse.
I have not felt that much passion and heart and authenticity out of Kristen in such a long time. I was like blown away. I was super happy to hear from her and everything that she had to say. I love that she has been pouring into us and having such a giving heart. I mean, and let's be transparent. We all know that they are giving to motivate, correct? Because right now we are all in many slumps right now. So they are trying to pour into us, giving us that positivity that we need, but also dangling these beautiful, sweet prizes just outside of our reach because they want us to keep reaching, because they know that we have the power within us, that sometimes we just get a little cloudy, right? It just gets a little hazy sometimes, and we can't see past that haze. And they're trying to break up the fog in between us and say, hey, this is what we have here. Don't forget it. Don't lose sight, and push yourself harder than you've ever pushed before. Let me see you working, see you trying. I love that she said that. If you guys don't get new customers and don't get new ambassadors this week, that's okay. I want to see you trying. I want you to show up every single day. Activity is not outcome. Yes, 90 days. I am worthy. 100% true, April. I was going to ask if everybody did their 3 things of gratitude this morning. I am still doing what Alicia said last week. I am still here. Don't mind my messy room, but my bed is made just for Alicia, right? Because that was her challenge to us. So I have been making my bed. I've been drinking my water. I have been saying what I am grateful for every single morning out loud, because when you speak it, it becomes more true to your heart, and you really feel empowered after you say, I am grateful for 3 things this morning. I said for this beautiful weather for the last like 5 days, because it just does something to you. Seeing the sunlight, feeling that warm weather, seeing your kids run around outside with no shoes on, even though you think they're insane. I just love it. It puts you in such a great place. I love the partnership that I have with my husband, because last night he was at work. He works 24 hours, and he literally was like, hey, what's your queue schedule look like for the rest of the week so I can plug it into my schedule? That is partnership, you guys. That is where you decrease the conflict at home, because sometimes that is where we are falling out, right? Because whether we want to admit it or not, if you and your spouse or you and your significant other have issues with your schedule, that's going to mess with your business. If your husband was planning on going to play horseshoes or go to the bar or hang out with his friends or go play basketball, or if he was going to pick up an extra shift at work, and you guys don't communicate about how you have a call at 7 and you have an opportunity call at 9 o'clock, like, you're going to get into an argument over it, and it's not worth it. So you really have to have that open line of communication, that true partnership with your partner, so that even though they might not be working this business with you, they are working the business with you, right? And then the third thing that I was grateful for this morning was all of the incentives that I am in the running for, right? We are all in the running for, to get the incentive to Cancun, because who does not want a freaking vacation? A non-working freaking vacation with whoever they want to bring, whether they want to bring their spouse or whether they want to bring their best friend, right? I don't care. I'm not judging. Me and my husband actually hate going on vacations together. So don't be surprised when I'm in Cancun and I bring someone that might have missed the trip by a couple points. Me and Angela already have like a little group. If one of us gets it and the other one doesn't, we're our plus one. Okay. So you won't see John or Mike on these vacations if we win. The incentives to win these amazing prizes, like Cindy, she won $1,000 trip voucher, you guys. That decreases the stress on her and her family of flights to Dallas in September, on lodging. She could literally probably pay for all of her food and everything, because knowing her, she probably went on there that day and booked her room so she could get it at like $100 versus $350 if you're procrastinating and wait till the week of. So don't do that, because that just causes more stress, right? We want to decrease the stress out of our lives so that we can be successful, so we can have that clear vision and start working for our goals. And with those goals comes our IPA sheets, right? So before we go into the IPA sheets, does anybody else want to unmute and talk about their 3 things that they're grateful for, or a personal victory, whether it's business or self-related, or shout somebody out?
I'll go. I didn't say this yesterday because I kind of got on late, but I signed a new ambassador on Saturday in the UK.
Oh my gosh, she signed up.
Yeah. And so for right now it's just her, I guess, partner or whatever. It's under him. She's gonna join under him, and then they're gonna bring that foundation on. So yeah, super exciting.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. I'm so excited for you.
Yep. And then I also have the podcast interview that I was supposed to do last week. I have on schedule for tomorrow.
Very cool. And can you quickly just tell everybody that might have missed the UK talk last week where you met her and how you reached out to her real quick?
Yeah, so I met her on Instagram, and it came through the 21 Social like Instagram growth program that I bought. And so that's how I got the lead, and just started talking to her about, she was with another company, and just started talking to her about Q. And they actually are in partnership with a foundation that promotes mental health for athletes and boxers mostly. So there is a very popular boxer in the UK, as I'm told, who he's an older man now. He's not in the boxing field anymore, but he runs this foundation that helps athletes who have been injured or have PTSD with mental health issues. So that our Q pretty much aligned completely with what they were doing. So they were so excited just to jump in. So yeah.
That is awesome. So everybody that gets on these morning calls knows that Taryn has been talking about 21 Social, right? So a lot of the leaders have been investing in that. Yes, it is an investment because it is a monthly cost, you guys. But let me tell you, those generic messages that you are able to customize and send out to people really get your message out there and attract the people that are going to be attracted to you, right? You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So you just let those ones go, but you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So even if you send out that generic message or let that 21 Social be working for you, they're going to be drawn in by the message that you have preset to send to them, just like what Alicia did. And now she connected with them. She connected them with Kristen. She used her third-party validation. She edified Kristen. And by Saturday, they were signed up. That is a week's time. That's how fast you can fill those 3 buckets, right? She went from bucket 1, meeting, shaking hands, greeting. Bucket 2, getting to know, talking about pain points, what is going to bring value into these people's lives and organization with Q. And then she invited them on a call in a 3-way message. And then at the end, she got a new ambassador out of it. That is exactly how you work this sheet. That was like a perfect example of it. So good job, Alicia.
Yeah, Calla. Also, I just wanted to, for those of you who were on the call last night and heard Kristen talking, it did happen exactly like that. Like, if you are not plugging your people into 3-way messages with any of the leaders, even sidelines, like if you know somebody who, like I was talking to somebody who was with Unique, and immediately I was like, okay, which one of our people are with Unique? Because I was already pre-planning of who I was going to plug her. If you are not, if you aren't using 3-ways to get your people into the next box, then you're missing the boat, because that is the system and it truly, truly does work. Every time that I have gotten Kristen into a 3-way message with a potential, they sign every single time. So if you aren't doing that, I suggest that you start. And like Kristen said, it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to flood Kristen's inbox with, with 3-way messages, but there's tons of us out here. It's simply the act of edifying the other person and then making them the expert and letting them go in and close for you. And the system, it really, really works. So this is my little tip.
No, thank you. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. April, did you want to share something?
How'd you know?
Your eyes tell me it.
I was just going to share what I shared with you last night, that I had someone prospecting me. She's telling me about how great their company is and how awesome their CBD is, blah, blah, blah. And she's telling me, because I told her about ours being 100% absorbent and stuff. And she's like, you can't say that. And like, nothing is 100% absorbent. And I'm like, well, we have the studies we're going to publish, and went on about that. But last night she asked me, she's like, would you just get on a call and check it out? And I was like, honestly, I just don't want to waste your time. Where I'm at, I 100% know without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going to be a millionaire here. And I do absolutely know that I'm going to be a millionaire with Q, and there's nowhere but up for us to go here. And it's just not worth, wasting your time. But if you're not where you are, or if you're not where you want to be financially, I would absolutely love to show you what I'm doing. And maybe it's for you, maybe it's not, but it's been great. And whatever I said in the moment was perfect, because then she came back and she's like, can we talk more tomorrow? I'm putting my daughter to bed. And she like wants more information now. So wouldn't that be something if I totally flipped her from like, oh, that would be like such a I made it moment, flipping somebody.
What company is she with, April?
She has products as BIO. I'll have to look back in the thing.
Oh, never.
But it's like they don't.
I've been seeing that around lately.
I think it's BioRain.
They don't
Is it
have a-
BioRain?
I have no idea. I have to go back and look, but they don't have like a liquid. Her big pitch was like everything is in like a capsule because it's the quickest way. No, honey, sublingual is the quickest way, but you can't blame her for passing on information that she's gotten. So
You know what's interesting? If it is that company, I've been following this other girl who she just went back to, I forget which company she went back to, but she she switched to that company a year ago and then went back to her old company. So I think that that's a newer company. If it is that BioRain, I think it's a newer company, and I think they're dangling, shiny objects, and people are going, but I think they're finding that it's not exactly what they
Hey.
signed up for. So
If it is BioRains, April, do you know that the people that are at the top of that company just left Q about a year and a half ago? Jessica and Aaron Mathis.
They were with Q.
Yes, they were.
And left and started their own company.
No, they were enticed by the people who ever have the company. They're like the Jake and Sarah of BioRains. And just so you know that, and when you're talking, I just wanted to give you the heads up.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good job. Prayers and positivity when you have your conversation with her today. I'm sure it's going to go amazing. Does anybody else have any shout outs to do before we get started? No? Well, I have one more shout out. I want to shout out my friend and sponsor, Shelby, for making the leaderboard, right? Oh my gosh. She hasn't been on there in a little bit, and I was super excited to see her on there. And I know that she was super surprised to see herself on there, so I was really happy. That was awesome. I love when seasoned leaders like Shelby, and when Sarah's on there, when Cindy's on there, when Alicia's on there, when April's on there, seasoned leaders showing back up, right? Because you all are leading from the front. So if your team doesn't see us on that board, they think my leader's not working, so why do I? No, we are always working. It might not always show on that leaderboard, but when we do show up to that leaderboard, our team is like, dang, we need to get going. She's doing things without us, right? So I just wanted to shout you out. Congratulations. That was awesome. I was super excited to see our new girl, Tracy, on there again. So that was really great. Watch out. I'm coming. Yeah. We all want to win this trip, right? I'm like, send pictures to Taryn every time I get a new customer. I'm like, one more point. I'm like, I'm just going to keep counting that down. I'm winning that trip. We have until May, though. Don't forget that. Don't be discouraged if you see people that are like, oh my gosh, I already have 5 points. And you're like, well, shoot, I have 0. Do not compare your season with somebody else's. You have 3 entire months to make it happen, right? March might be super slow for you, but because we're doing this 7-day IPA challenge, that's going to get you jump started into your own personal momentum to keep going. It's going to pay you dividends in 90 days. Maybe it'll only take 30 days. Maybe it'll take 60 days. You guys, you never know, but just keep on showing up. And I guarantee you that it's going to pay off for your business in the long run. So about that, people are always like talking about the timelines of the IPA sheet. Well, how long should people be in bucket 1? Well, how long should I be building this relationship for? When should I be inviting them to the call? And truly, you guys, this is 100% up to you and the conversation and the vibes that you're getting from the person that you're interacting with. Shelby had to reach out to me like maybe 3 times. Okay. Taryn had to reach out to Ashley Cheetah for 2.5 years. Do you see the difference? April watched Taryn for like 3.5 years. Shelby asked her mom day 1, hey mom, will you do this with me? She's like, hell yeah. Okay. So everybody is different. You never know where somebody is at, but by putting them in your bucket 1, by introducing yourself, by saying, hey, I'm April. I love connecting with new people. I saw that we had a couple of mutual friends in common. How do you know Cindy? She's actually my great friend. I hope to hear back from you soon. I hope that you have a blessed day. You guys, literally, that's like I say that to any person that I'm shaking hands with. Or you say, oh my gosh, I looked through your profile. You have such a beautiful family. I love all of your content on your wall. You just like express so much positivity, or your memes are super funny. Like, however you can connect with them and make them think that you are valuing what they're putting out there for people to look at, they're going to be attracted to you, right? Because that's what we are doing. We are attracting others to us. So if you go on your page and you're like, wow, I'm not attractive, you need to clean up your page, because people are creepers, right? We all creep. Someone's like, oh, my friend started talking to this new guy. His name's Bob. Okay, what's Bob's last name? Bob Jones? Okay, I'm Googling Bob Jones. I'm looking him up on Facebook. I'm looking him up on Instagram, and I'm going to creep. I'm going to find out who his ex-girlfriend is, who his ex-wife is, where his kids go to school, and who his best friend was in high school, right? Like, because you can do all of that on social media, and Lord knows that that's what we all do. Okay, so that's what people are doing to you. If they look at your Facebook or if they look at your Instagram, do they feel inspired? Do they feel happy to be there? Do they want to keep scrolling to look at your content on there? Or are they looking at it and they're like, I mean, I'm really not attracted to this. Okay, so you have to be attractive. And I mean, don't be fake, but really think about that branding. What do you like to do? Do you like to cook? Everybody loves food. Start posting pictures of your dinner. Start posting pictures of your recipe, or, put recipe in comments. Go on your stories every single day. You should be filtering through your stories, because that's a great way to meet new people too, without being like, if you don't like going to their inbox and introducing yourself, start liking and loving their stories for a few days, and then get into their messenger and be like, oh my gosh, your daughter was so cute on that video today. She made me laugh, or she made me smile. That's exactly what I needed. Everybody loves a comment about their child. Your dinner looked really great. Would you share the recipe with me? I'm also on a fitness journey, and I really think that this would fit in nicely with the meal plans that I am also using, right? Just little things like that connect with them, that you have a similarity with. That is putting them in your bucket one. Maybe you spark a conversation and things are going really well, and you're talking about your meals, and you're talking about diets that you've been on and what she's doing and what you're doing. You are already moving her to bucket two, right? Without even knowing it, because you are having a genuine conversation. You're finding out that she loves her diets, right? But they're not working for her. So that's a pain point. You find out that she hates greens and vegetables, but you know that we just got a brand new drink, right? So you're already planting these own seeds in your head while you're transitioning her to your building relationship. And then she's like, oh my gosh, I actually went on your page and I saw your transformation picture, Shelby. It looks like you had like a huge success in a year's time. What did you do in that year? Hey, you guys, if she's here, she can now go right straight to here. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I have been working on this journey, and it was actually a company that helped hold my hand and take me on this journey together. What are you doing tonight at 9 o'clock? I actually have a friend. It's a Zoom. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not. I mean, I feel like we all are these days, but it's super short, 20 minutes. And she's a mom. She's my friend Calla. I would love if you would just hop on and listen, because she will talk about the things that I did along my fitness journey on this Zoom. That was literally bucket 1, 2, and 3 in the matter of hours in a day, right? You can totally do that. Some people, yes, sit in bucket 2 longer sometimes when it's just not the right feels. If it takes them a day to respond, if you are having a conversation about a pain point that they opened up to, and they are struggling with their job, or if they are just like, oh my gosh, my kids, this and that, or whatever the case may be. Some people do have to sit in that bucket longer, but as long as you keep returning that person to bucket 2, they will eventually flip to bucket 3. But you have to stay there. Like how Kristen talked about last night, you have to keep showing up for them. They're just waiting for another person to quit. They're just waiting for another person to forget about them, right? Because people don't always care about you. People don't always just check in on you. But if you stay that consistent person in their life when they're in their valley, when they're having a hard time with their marriage, when they're having a hard time with their kids, when they're struggling with this school or work or whatever, and it's just not the right time to bring up Q, but you are checking in on them and you're being there for them and you're being a genuine person and human being, when they start crawling out of that valley, they're going to be thinking of you. They're going to see you still showing up every single day in their life, in their inbox saying, hey girl, just thought of you. I know it's been a few days or maybe it's been a week. How's it going? Are you feeling better? Are things getting better in your life? And they're going to be like, wow, gosh, this person is just so amazing. Like they're genuinely like thinking of me when they don't have to. And they're going to be attracted to you. And then they're going to start asking you questions when they are ready and open to giving a look at what you're doing. So that's what we need to focus on every single day. And people are like, oh, I really don't like adding people onto my Facebook and onto my Instagram. I feel like I have too much going on. Perfect. If you have 500 friends, I guarantee you haven't introduced yourself to every single one of them. So go through your Facebook. You can actually print out your friends list. Start working A through Z, you guys. And type in their name into your messenger if you've never messaged them before. And if you are attracted to their Facebook page, message them. If you look at their Facebook page after you're like, oh, I didn't even know I was friends with so-and-so, but you see some weird things or scary things or obscene things, like they obviously aren't the person is in your business and you clearly don't interact with them. So you should delete them because that's going to free up a space for someone else to be your friend. Or it's going to free up some space so it boosts your algorithm so more of your actual friends will see your post. So that's really important. You don't have to always add new friends. If you have a great friends list and you haven't been through them all, that's where I should tell you to start. Okay. And then always following up with them. And the follow-up is key with closing the sales. After you invite them on a call and they show up, or after you send them a call and they watch it, you always have to be there and excited to be like, oh my gosh, wasn't that call so amazing? Didn't Cindy and Shelby and Sarah give off these great vibes when they were like speaking together as a family? That was just so amazing to hear. What was your favorite part that they talked about? Oh, you have more questions? Well, let me connect you actually with one of them because all 3 of them are my friends and they would love to answer your questions. Sarah is actually a super busy mom of 2 boys, and she's like a double black belt in karate. She's been with my company for like 2.5 years. And let me tell you, she knows any and everything about all of the products and the questions that you just asked me. Hang on, I'll go get her. That's how easy it is to edify and put them in a 3-way. You don't always have to talk about like the business. She is a bronze ambassador. She has, been to 17 conventions. Like people don't connect with that. But if you tell them about her life and then also marry in a couple things about Q into there, that's more relatable. Sending voice messages so people can hear the excitement in your voice is also key to those follow-ups. Once you start, you might start the conversation with texting and messaging back and forth. But once you get more comfortable and once they actually open up to you and are genuinely interested, you need to connect with them deeper. Even if it makes you feel uncomfortable, you have to start sending those voice messages. Because when you do your third-party edification and your leader or your mentor or your third-party validator, whether it be a sideline, upline, even a downline, you guys, you can connect people down and be like, you know what? I have an amazing leader in between you and I'm actually going to connect you to her. That's perfectly fine. It's just all in the way that you edify whoever you're trying to connect them with. Because those people in the third party are going to send voice messages. So you're already introducing them to our system, and then you're already showing them the process, and you're showing them that we all do the same thing the same way. Make sure that you are truly tracking your numbers and taking a picture of your squares every day. I do that. I try to take a picture every day, but I make sure that I take a picture of my square the first day of the month, the 15th of the month, and the last day of the month. Because, well, I like to take a picture like I said, basically every day, but you really want to track where you are, where you start your month at. Like, how many people show up on day one? How many people order their products? Are you making a rank on your first day, on your first week? Because if you guys didn't watch that live the other day, Jake Spencer is going to be turning on our weekly pay. So you could be builder and get $50 next week. You could be pro and getting $100 next week instead of waiting until April 6th or by the time you convert it over April 10th or 11th. You could be earning your paychecks week to week, just like you would a traditional business, a traditional job. That's huge for people who are struggling financially that can't wait 35 to 40 days to get paid. Even if you are established. But what if you're a person that's been, showing up inconsistently for a long time and you've never made a rank, and all of a sudden you make a rank for the first time ever, but it's outside of your bonus window? You're still going to get paid the next week on your residual income. That's huge. That's such a confidence booster. Even if you don't get the bonus, you're still going to get $50. Because that can be the deciding factor of whether or not you can order your auto ship next month. You really need to look at where people are at in their life and know where you need to meet them. How can you help them? How can you improve their life? That's all people want. And I know that being on social media sucks, but things will change. Things will change. And in person is honestly, you guys, like, life-changing. The human interaction that people get when you are together with them far supersedes what you do on social media. So even if you are reaching out to somebody that might be local to you, ask them if they want to come over for coffee, if they would feel comfortable sitting outside on your patio. Even that can make a drastic change or, outcome because you reached out and invited them to your home or to the park. Sorry, I have not been reading these comments over here, so let me take a minute. Does anybody have any questions about any of the buckets, or are people still looking at this and feeling very confused or overwhelmed? Because right now is when we want to squash these feelings or these objections that you're having, this fear that you're having, because we want all of you to be successful. got a new customer last week and hoping to sign an ambassador. Oh, that's awesome, Cindy. Can't wait my whole team. Yes.
Hey, Calla.
Yes.
Can I just say something real quick?
Always.
So for the people who are saying that, or that you might feel like you're overwhelmed by the sheets, my biggest tip to you would be to just think of what feels cool for you. So it looks like on the sheet, like you should be doing, uh, shaking hands with people, then continuing the relationship, then inviting them, and then adding friends, and the birthdays and all of the things. You don't have to do them all in that order. Like you can do it in a way that feels good for you. So like for me, for instance, when I do my IPA, I'll do certain things in time blocks. So I don't sit down for an hour and just do my IPA because I can't. I am at work and I need to block out time to do certain tasks. So I will take a task, like usually first thing in the morning, I'll go through and wish everybody a happy birthday because it's pretty fast to do, right? And then you don't have to answer them right away. They might respond back to you, but it's okay if they sit in your box for a little while. And then in my next time block that I have, I will go back and open up conversations with people again, like reconnect with people, either people that I've already been talking to, or respond to all those people who said thank you for sending them a happy birthday. And then later on, I will add friends to Facebook and I will go and shake hands. So my biggest, if it feels overwhelming for you, I would suggest like blocking it out in little chunks so that it doesn't feel like you're just sitting down and having to just tackle this sheet of all of this stuff. And if you do it, and absolutely 1000%, like what Aubrey has been saying about using a timer, use a timer. Give yourself 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 25 minutes just to do the one task. And I promise you are going to feel so much more accomplished and so much less overwhelmed if you do it that way. So I know that there were some people who were saying that they were feeling overwhelmed by it. So, that's just the way that I handle it, but it might work for you too.
Yes, that is great. Yeah. Time blocking for sure is very beneficial. Spacing things apart. So you're not just sitting down and looking like, oh my gosh, I don't have 2.5 hours to fill this thing out. And then when people start responding back to me, like I have to shoot them a message right back or else I'm going to lose them. No, you won't. No, you will not. And don't feel like just because you have 3 messages in your box that you have to go to read them. If you send out your messages and it's time for you to move on, you need to move on. Those are called boundaries, you guys. And if it's not your time to respond back to messages, then do not respond back to messages because you're breaking your own boundaries. And then other people are going to break down your boundary walls as well if you are doing it to yourself. So yes, absolutely. Time block, use timers, set aside 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, whatever works best for you. I kind of do the same thing. I, go through and I wish the happy birthdays, but I also have been using those keyboard short word, whatever Aubrey talked about. So you type in happy and a happy birthday message comes out, you guys. Happy birthday, hope it's amazing, or happy belated birthday if you write happy B, and then a belated birthday message will come up. That saves so much time. Like you can shoot out your happy birthdays in probably 20 seconds versus 5 minutes of typing it out every single time. And if you're a person that wants to be like very personal and make sure that you put the person's name, that's an easy add-in. Happy birthday, and then you just click on it, so-and-so, and then your whole message is still there, right? Because you generally say the same thing to everybody, you might just change their name. So have your messages pre-done for you because that's going to take out so much thought and so much typing time that you really don't need to do. You can do that for inviting people to the call too, because those messages should genuinely be about the same. You know, we've been talking for a while. I was wondering, are you free Tuesday at 9? Okay, well, if it's Tuesday, switch Tuesday to tonight. But it's already pre-typed out for you. Save the little blips that people write, because you have the same leaders every single month doing your presentations. So Cindy already sent you her bio months ago. You should save it in your little notes under everything Q, or Q presentation host bio. And so when it's that person's night, you can copy, click, paste. This is my friend, Cindy. She got to retire early, you know, her income with Q Sciences, blah, 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 blah. She is a mom. She is a grandma. She is a, you know, fitness, I don't want to say guru, but like she turned her life around because she was able to get fit. Her health is better. Her pain is almost gone now that she's been able to take these supplements and work out and lift weights and throw her luggage bag around like a rag doll, when before her daughter used to have to do it for her. That's super relatable, you guys. And she says that she gives you this information. So everything you need is literally given to you. You just have to start implementing it. And if these things are daunting, are confusing, are fearful, please reach out to whoever makes you feel comfortable, whoever makes you feel confident, whoever gives you that fire to start working. Whether they're your sponsor, whether they're your sideline, your upline, your downline, or your friend, like whoever that, you need to have them on your side, in your corner, and knowing how you're feeling, or else you are going to be alone. Nobody should be alone.
Can I say something? So I just want to point out that I am in Fraser Brooks's Inner Circle training, and he talks about adding people on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. One of his steadfast rules and things that he tells you to do is, once you add them as a Facebook friend, don't just add them and move on and not reach out to them. Immediately send them a message, just like you were talking about. Hey, I really like that shirt you're wearing in that photo, blah, blah, blah. How are things? Just make it short, sweet, but never just add them without sending them a message, because their wheels start turning. I mean, his training is really in depth, but that's one of the things that he stresses. When you start adding them, send them a message right away. So they, like I said, once I add them, they are automatically in my bucket one.
Thank you. Awesome. See, I'm glad. Some people are like, gosh, Calla, I just feel so uncomfortable and like really creepy by doing that. And I was like, okay, well then you must actually not be attracted to them if you don't want to reach out and talk to them as soon as you see them and meet them. Like, that's really truly it. Okay, well then you must not be attracted to them. Why'd you add them? Well, I mean, why do you have to wait till later to say hello? You really don't. So now or never. Add or delete, you guys. What we have is gold. So the faster that we share it with anybody and everybody that we can, the faster you're going to see success. The sooner you are going to be that millionaire. Okay, so we're going to take the last 15 minutes and we are going to send out some messages. Maybe minus Alicia, unless she's going to do some voice messages. But start super simple. Start interacting with people's stories. Even if you don't interact with them, like Kristen told you guys a couple months ago, Alicia brings it up sometimes too, letting those stories play, because the more that you your account brings up other people's stories, puts your stories at the front of their accounts. So when they log in, you're going to be like the top 1, 2, or 3 people the more you filter through people's stories. So if you do that in the morning, and if you do that at night before you go to bed, or I do it honestly, you guys, when I get in the shower, I turn it on, and the whole time I'm taking a shower, it's just filtering through people's stories. I mean, whatever works for you. I mean, sometimes I do genuinely sit down and interact with them, but if I'm busy, heck no, I'm not doing it. I can't do it, but I still want it to happen, so I make it happen. I mean, that's just what I do. I'm just trying to be transparent, because you can make things work even if you can't work. When there's a will, there's a way, right? So, all right, so start interacting with stories, start loving it. If there's something that really stands out to you, comment back to it, but let those stories play through. Send everybody happy birthday messages. We typically say send happy birthday messages to people that their birthday was yesterday. If their birthday's today, they genuinely probably won't respond back to you because it's your birthday. Like, I'm not going through my Facebook Messenger on my birthday. I'm hanging out with my family. I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm going to be outside. I'm going to be having lunch. I'm going to be having drinks. Like, I'm not going to be looking at Sally Jane saying, oh, happy birthday, Calla. I'll respond to her tomorrow. So if you respond to the person that their birthday was yesterday, they're probably in their messenger today. And then they're going to be like, oh my gosh, that was so sweet. It was a day later and that person still knew it was my birthday. Or they respected the fact that I was probably off social media yesterday and they messaged me today. Because I know that's what I would think. So if that's something that you think, just know that other people think that too. All right, well then go ahead and get started. Start doing some of your sheet, because I hope that everybody in this group signed up to be in the IPA challenge. And if you didn't, you should. You should. 7 days. Anybody can do anything for 7 days. I'm winning. I'm winning all the prizes. Back it up, sister. You're funny. I know. Between me, you, and Megan, I'm like, thank goodness we're all so sweet. Because we would be fighting each other every day. Megan's always like, oh, I'm getting it. I'm coming for all of you. I'm like, no, you ain't, girl. But yeah, okay. Go ahead and get started. If anybody has any questions, please, please, please unmute. This is the time and the place to do it. All right, you guys. So the art of voice messaging. You see this, all this blue anxiety right here that I did? That's all me. I hate voice messaging. I hate it. But I have to push myself to do it because then you get messages back like this.
Hey girls, I'm just now getting back to you, but that is so awesome. Sorry, I'm at work, but I took one of the little honey sticks yesterday. No, it was peppermint. It was peppermint, and right before I went to bed because I struggle with sleeping because I've got anxiety and things of that nature. So it's like my brain is always constantly running, and I did use that recovery gel on my nose this morning. So I'm excited to try all of these, and I am about to take my AM pill, and my AM capsule, and then I gotta remember to take my PM capsule. So I'm so excited to give this a try, and I cannot wait to do a Zoom with you guys. I think that'll be so much fun, but I hope you have an amazing Tuesday.
Okay, you guys. So I have been talking to this girl for a while, and I sent her a huge box of tons of samples. I also sent her some full-size things if your budget allows it. Okay, even if it's an extra spray that you have, it makes people feel like there was just something extra, right? And so she already said that she tried 3 of the things in her box. She tried a hemp honey stick, she tried the recovery gel, and she took her AMQ core pills this morning. And she's excited to hop on a Zoom with me. Because I also said, you know what? Like, this is so much information. I put so much stuff in your box. Like, I can barely remember what I put. Maybe we should just hop on Zoom and I'll invite my girlfriend on with us and we can kind of like explain everything to you. Maybe like go through like a little presentation to give you a little bit about all of it. And she's like, oh, yeah, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. And this person does makeup. So I already reached out to Ashley and said, hey, Ashley, I have this girl. She is really big into makeup. And I was wondering if you could help hop on the Zoom with us and kind of connect with her. And you want to know what Ashley said? Oh my gosh, anytime. That's no problem, girl. So if there's a leader out there that can connect to the person that you're talking to, reach out to that leader. They are never too busy to help. Everybody on this team and literally everybody in Q wants us all to be successful. And so they are willing to help. They're willing to be that third party for us. They're willing to help close, help answer questions. So don't be afraid to reach out to the people, even within our organization, that might be intimidating or scary, or you think that they don't have enough time, because they do.
Calla, I have a question. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
So this morning, I reached out to a girl who I work with, and she's never tried any samples. I've talked to her a couple times, and she always sounds interested. We talk about all sorts of things, but anytime I bring up the business, she stops talking. So this morning, I reached out to her about your call. I think she knows you, but I don't think you know her. And I was talking to her about other stuff. She's a homesteader too. She has chickens. And then when I said something about the call, she saw my messages but is not responding. What do you do with those people?
So I will, if you have a good relationship with them, which it sounds like you do have a pretty good basis, I would just call it as it is. And I would just say, hey, I've asked you about this a couple times. Are you interested or not? If you're not, that's okay. I will never bring it up again because I don't want to have like an awkward relationship. But if you are interested, I really think that tonight is the night for you to show up. And if it's not,
and
I'll
that
never
is
bring it
what
up.
I said. That is what
Perfect.
I said, and she just didn't answer. So I need to just take the hint and leave her alone for a little bit, you think?
About Q. Just stop talking about Q for a little bit. Keep being her friend. Keep talking to her. Keep that relationship, because maybe there's something that is going on that is holding her back that she's not opening up to you yet about.
Yeah.
And maybe she will. Maybe she will if
Yeah.
you keep showing up and you're like, oh, hey, how's your chickens doing? Are they laying eggs? Because I heard Calla saying that she hasn't got any eggs in like 3 months. Her chickens are crazy. Like, just kind of having a personal conversation, but maybe still hinting to business connections.
Okay.
Would be helpful. I mean, don't ever stop talking to them just because they say no to Q, because that doesn't mean no forever. And that doesn't mean, no, God, don't be my friend because you just don't want to be in my business, because that would suck.
That's a lesson I've learned the hard way. I've done that with people, and then they end up on someone else's team. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to do that ever again.
Yes, exactly. So good question. Does anybody else have any questions? It is 10 o'clock, so we can sign off if nobody has any other things to say about your IPA sheets. Don't forget, today is day 1 of 7. If you're struggling, reach out to somebody, you guys. If you're like, this is daunting still, reach out to somebody, you guys. We want everybody on that little freaking spinny wheel of prize goodness. Everybody. Who's posting their IPA sheets completed first? Okay, you're gonna win that. I'll let you have that victory. Mine won't be posted until probably 11:59 tonight after my kids go to bed and I can focus. My husband's been outside. I keep like creeping out him at the window because he has all the kids outside so I could do this call. So they're probably just dying for me right now. So once I get off this call, that is boundaries. My phone and my computer are staying upstairs. We're going downstairs. We're going to have breakfast and we're going to play until it's nap time, you guys. So please make sure that you start incorporating that into your life. We are not brain surgeons. We are not heart surgeons. We are not psychiatrists. Okay. We are Q Sciences ambassadors. And what we have is amazing. But if people go without talking to us for 3 hours, they're going to live. Okay. Love you guys. I had a good